Do you think of yourself as an artist? An artist. I don't actually know what an artist is. But I do know that each of us can use different materials to be creative and use that as a spiritual practice. Spiritual practices with
Eliana and
Greg
Sebastian.
and sometimes Sebastian too. Do you think of yourself as an artist?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Uh-huh.
Why kind of? Why yes?
Well, because I think of myself as a ballerina.
Oh yeah, ballerina, that's an art form, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and we'll look at dance as a spiritual practice sometime too, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And what about nature art? What do you think nature art is?
Art that you make in nature.
Right. I think there's two ways to go about it. One is you can have an idea in mind, then you go somewhere and find what materials you can, or see what materials you can find around you, and then see if you can make the thing that you have in mind. Another way to do it is to find yourself where there's lots of things to work with, and then see what those things inspire you to make. Like maybe you just pick up some pine cones and put them together and see what happens, see what creative things flow from there. And it becomes a spiritual practice when we can get so into it that we forget about the other things that are happening around us. When we get so into the zone, when we get into a bit of flow, and we get so enthralled with the experience that we ignore everything else around us.
Like daydreaming.
Like daydreaming, yep.
When you daydream, you can't think of anything else because you're just staring and thinking of something.
That's right. My daydreams are so enthralling that I can't think about anything else. And that's what it's about, when we can focus on something so intently that we can attune to the sacredness that is all around us. Well, shall we go see if we can do some nature art? You sound really excited about it. Well, let's go see what we can create. So Ellie, the first step for doing nature art is to find ourselves in nature, right? To go outside, so we've left the house. We're in our backyard. We have a really nice spot for this, don't we? Because our creek is right here. We have all sorts of beautiful foliage.
We don't need
leaves.
to drive to it.
You don't need to drive to a creek. Exactly. Some people might need to drive to get to a nice place like this. And what do you see around us that could become the materials for our nature art? Well, what do you see?
Green.
You see green. What are the green things that you see? Trees and sword ferns.
Gray water.
Some gray water. Yeah, we've had a big storm, so the water's really gray with all the sediment. Oh, a leaf boat. Should we make leaf boats as a form of nature art?
It's easy.
So we've come outside, we've seen what we have to work with, and then we've got an idea. So let's go work with that idea. Sound good? Well, our attempt at leaf art in the creek didn't quite go as we planned, did it? You think it did? Oh, there you go. See, I was gonna say that what we have to do, like, I need to let go of the outcome that I was expecting, be part of the process, and it was meaningful for you because you were so present in the process that you weren't so worried about the outcome, so it did work. You're not sure if it worked? Well, we're in our backyard, and what other art materials can you see?
Leaves and grass.
More leaves and grass. And what else?
And flowers.
Flowers, yeah. Our yard is full of these beautiful but highly invasive hawkweeds. So let's see if we can turn these into art.
Perfect.
Well, now that you've watched pretty much right until the end, and you're getting ready to turn off your device and go practice, what do we want to offer?
Our favorite piece of advice.
And what's your favorite piece of advice?
You find some water and you find a leaf and you put the leaf in the water and then you hope that it doesn't get stuck.
And my advice is actually along the same lines. My advice is to let go of any particular outcome that you might have been seeking. So whether that means just being okay with knowing that your creation is going to be destroyed by nature, maybe by some other person, or even letting it go actively in the water like that, watching it disappear, and even resisting the temptation to record it or take a picture, then you know that you've really let go. And it's important to let go sometimes. Well, until we see you next time.
Eliana.
And I'm Greg. Bye.
Now turn off your device and go practice. And be sure